Hey guys, Bryan here from Liquid Concepts. So today on our weekly tips and tricks videos, we are actually going to do something pretty cool. We're actually going to be doing a nitrous tank. So we've got our nitrous tank right here. We've already got it all painted, prepped out, ready to go. Of course, we've taped all this off. Got a good way to hang it right here, so that way everything can be done, even the bottom of it. So now what we're going to be doing is we're actually going to be dipping it in a wood grain pattern. And so you can kind of see here, whenever this is some excess that we've got right here, this is pretty much what it's going to look like whenever it's wrapped around the actual tank itself. And so we're going to put a few more things on it, kind of make it look like a kind of like a whiskey barrel sort of design, but of course it's a nitrous tank, so who doesn't love that? We're going to throw a little bit of text on it, and definitely going to make it a one of a kind. So figured we go ahead and shoot a quick little video on it. It is pretty much, you might as well say, a big cup. So it's just going to be, we're just going to roll it, and so that's going to be the general pretty much the general idea of it. Now there's a couple of things to remember. Of course, you have this part that comes up into here, so inevitably as you roll it around, this is going to get a little blurred because everything's going to be moving all kind of bunched up like this. So that's going to be one thing. Now the other thing is on the back side. So this back side, a lot of the times you can actually still see it, because if it's sitting in a car or something like this, or just sitting like that, you can still see the back side of this. So actually what we're going to be doing is we're going to be picking a similar color of brown that's going to be in this and putting it on the back side, just to kind of give it a nice little touch, so then that way you don't see a big old swirl of wood grain. So the other thing that we're going to be doing is that after we dip it, of course, we're going to rinse it off and everything. And then, of course, we'll show you guys what we're doing on this. Now, the other thing that you could do if you wanted to do this and make it, I guess, fully wood grain, is you could, after you dip this top portion here, go ahead and dip the bottom portion. So you could actually tape off the bottom and then re-tape it again after you've done the first dip, come down to the second dip, do this as well. It's a lot more work. Customer didn't want to go ahead and go through all of that. So we're just gonna go ahead and do this right here. So let's go ahead and get this in the water. Now, we've already got this all set, and I also already know where my front side is and where my back side is. So that's definitely going to be something that you want to make sure of before you go in the dip with it, because the back side of the tank is going to have the line on it. So that way, whenever it's sitting here like this, everything looks nice and pretty. You don't have a big line going down the middle of it. The line will be back here, and everything will look really good. So I just want to make sure that whenever I set it out, I can also know where my line is. And so also too, if I forget, the easy way to fix that is I'm just going to put a piece of tape right here. And so that way, that will tell me that this is the back side, that's the side that I need to start with going down, and then roll it. Of course, you'll see that here in just a little bit. So without further ado, we got our tank all set up, and we're going to be getting started with this. Now, let's see here. This is our SWG 002, so SWG 02. Now, as you can tell, this does have a gold backing on it, so it will have a little bit of a gold shimmer to it. So it'll give a little bit of a nice pop to it, as well as we went ahead and did it in more of a brown base, so it won't pop as bright as what it looks right here, but it will give it a really nice touch. So let's set that off to the side. And then, of course, we know 100% which way goes down on the water because of the nice gold spot right there. So let's set this down in the water and then get started with it. So once we lay it down corner to corner like that, we'll set it down there and then start our timer. And so we've got our timer set for 60 seconds. So 60 seconds on the water, and right now we're sitting at right at 80, 81 degrees. Anywhere between 80 to 90 is definitely where you want to be. So I'm going to go ahead, get some gloves on. After it sits for the 60 seconds, then we'll go ahead, spray the activator, and get ready for the dip. All right, so 60 seconds on the clock, and we'll go ahead and start spraying this. So now on something like this, we can go in right here and come down with it, and then come in like this. And then once we have that, then we can roll it all the rest of the way around, and then there we go. Now the good thing is this thing pretty much floats. So it is heavy going straight down into the water with it, but it also makes it really nice being it's a empty jug that's sealed, so then that way it does float. So once you get the hang of it, and then you can just spin it just like this all the way around. So doing this right here isn't gonna hurt anything. I could literally try to dip it again, not gonna hurt anything. But what we can see is that where our line was, looks like there we go. So where our line was right here, we pretty much have our line back here. So of course this is gonna be the back. Now the front definitely looks the best, and so we've got a very good wood grain pattern going all the way around. So looks really great. We're gonna go ahead, hang it up, get it rinsed off, do any touch-ups that we need on it, and then we're gonna go ahead, throw some text on it, and get it clear coated, show you guys the end result. All right, so now that we've got everything all finished up, everything came out amazing with this. So just to kind of give you a little recap, we've already dipped it, as you just saw in the previous video there, and now we went ahead, we put Gap Daniels on there, kind of made it look more like a whiskey barrel or something like that. Really cool idea that the customer had, and so we put the stickers on here. Now one thing that we did do is that we did clear coat over the stickers, so that way it makes it more permanent, and it makes it to where it won't just peel right off. You can't just take your finger and then just pull that right off like that. So we've also clear coated all this with a high gloss clear. It looks amazing. I think the customer is definitely going to love it. So you can kind of see here with us just kind of turning it around, you can see all of the detail that we've got in the dip, and of course on the back side of it we have our line that's coming up here, which inevitably, if it's going to be dipped, there's going to always be a line in it. But all in all, the dip came out really good. We've got really excellent color in it. The gloss came out great, and we've got a very nice line right up here. We taped this off beforehand, of course, before we did everything. And so now that we've got a nice little line all the way around here, that way it looks a lot more presentable. And then whenever they hook everything up, everything's ready to go. So one thing that we also did was we went and talked with the customer a little bit about where his brackets are going to be, because that's one thing to make sure of, is that if you're going to be doing something like that, you got to know where your brackets and your clamps are going to be. So we was able to get a dimension on where those clamps are going to be, and so that way he can clamp it still up here and down here, and then you can still see all of this very nice and neat and clean, and it's going to look really good. The other thing to remember is that you've got to make sure which way the nitrous is actually hooking up, because it can hook up on the right hand side, on the left hand side. There's different ways that it'll hook up, so you got to make sure which way is the front and which way is the back. So like I said, I think this thing came out really good. The customer is definitely going to love it. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I know we always do. If you have any questions or comments, definitely leave them below. We'd love to hear from you. And also, if you haven't already, definitely hit the subscribe button to see all of our weekly tips and tricks that we put out all the time on stuff just like this. I'm Bryan from Liquid Concepts, and we're making Hydrographics great again. We'll see you guys next time.